It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Happy Father's Day. It is time to meet Team 247. Paul Davis, the number 9 career scorer, number 5 rebounder in MSU basketball history, longtime professional player. And Paul, it's NBA draft week. You have some flashbacks to what it was like for you 12 years ago?
Yeah, some good ones and bad ones, and trying to get the golf game going. I was looking for the U.S. Open to pick up some tips, but there wasn't a lot of great putting or great chipping, so I'll wait till next weekend.
I want to welcome back Mr. Versatility, Darian Harris, 5-year MSU linebacker, co-captain of the 2015 Big Ten champions, aspiring broadcaster, graduate student, future athletic director, coach, you name it. How are you, Darian?
Doing great, doing great. World Cup time, so you know, the great soccer lover that I am, I'm definitely excited about that. There's been some great games so far that we'll get into later, so it's definitely been a great start to the World Cup, even though we don't have the U.S. in it. So now I'm just rooting for players. Ronaldo's been my guy. I'm a big Ronaldo fan, so it's fun to watch him in Portugal against Spain in that first game.
Is there any sport you don't like?
No, there isn't. I love competition. I love to watch great athletes across the world do what they do and do what they do at a high level. And soccer is probably the most popular sport in the world. So to see these world-class athletes compete at that level, I'm telling you, if you're not into the World Cup, if you're not watching the World Cup, you're missing out.
If you say so. Also want to welcome Bob Fossum, one of the best golfers ever produced in Mid-Michigan. He is a contributor every Wednesday with Bring Your A Game and the Booth Law Firm. We have another U.S. Open champion, the same one we had last year.
Well, interesting weekend. A little bit different scoring
Yeah.
from 16 under to even par 1 over for Koepka. But some interesting things that happened this weekend, so it'll be fun to talk about. Yeah.
I should say on the panel this week we have a combined 13 MSU varsity letters. 4 for Darian, 4 for Paul, and 5 for Bob Fossum. That leaves 0 for yours truly. 5 varsity letters and a chance to play for your dad, and you had a chance to play for Judd Heathcote, who was nothing like your dad.
Nothing like my dad. Totally different opposites. Amazing they even got along, for God's sakes. But it was fun to eke one out there with Judd for a year and become friends with him and find out what he was all about. So I had a great time. Yeah.
It's a Father's Day tradition to watch the U.S. Open, and we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about the Detroit Tigers, red hot with 5 wins in a row for the first time since 2016. We're also going to talk a lot about the NBA draft and what's ahead for Jaren Jackson Jr. and Miles Bridges and other players in the draft. All that and more coming up on Press Pass.
During the Save on Style event, buy any dining table, sofa, or bed and save 10% on furniture and decor to complete the room. And get up to 3 years no interest. High style for your home and low interest-free payments for you. Only at Furniture Row.
Look at any map and you'll see Lansing. We're that city with the star. Now, our hometown schools have earned their stars too and are helping make Lansing an even better place to learn, earn, and grow. Our one-of-a-kind academic program, the Pathway Promise, has become a nationally recognized model of excellence. Our staff is energized and dedicated to building outstanding results, and our students are working hard to make us all proud. Come see our progress and find out how we're helping make Lansing an even brighter star on the map. Dream big. The Lansing School District. We'll get you there.
The top stars in baseball are coming to the Cooley Law School Stadium Tuesday, June 19th for the Midwest League All-Star Game, presented by LaughQ. The free block party starts at 3 o'clock, followed by the Home Run Derby, the All-Star Game, and another spectacular LaughQ fireworks show. The first 1,000 fans will receive a replica All-Star batting helmet, so join us Tuesday, June 19th for the All-Star Game, presented by LaughQ. Tickets start at just $15, so call 485-4500 or log on to LansingLugnuts.com.
During the Save on Style event, buy any dining table, sofa, or bed and save 10% on furniture and decor to complete the room. And get up to 3 years no interest. High style for your home and low interest-free payments for you. Only at Furniture Row.
The 4 Battle for Stardom, Thursdays on Fox.
At Graf's, we're kicking off summer right, and we're cooking up some hot car deals, too.
Order for another hot car deal, Dad.
You got it.
Get into a 2018 Equinox for only $136 per month.
That's a hot one. And Graf will give you $2,000 more than the appraised value of your trade.
Or Graf will make up to 6 payments for you with Graf Lease Pull Ahead.
Looks like we need another hot deal.
Drive off a Silverado double cab for just $140 a month.
Hey, I want to try this. Hot deals coming up. Oops. Chris, it's all in the wrist.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Tracking a Trophy segment. That looks just like the U.S. Open trophy, too. And you see some guys who struggled early and often. Rory McIlroy, popular pick to win the tournament. Got to get it there first, guy. Not even close. He knows it. He won't be around on Saturday. How about Jordan Spieth? Where is that going? I've hit that shot, Bob.
Yeah, that's
very frustrated. And Tiger Woods, familiar spot in the rough, hits it, and it is going, gone, just like he is. Back to his yacht. Didn't make the cut again. I don't know if Tiger Woods is ever going to win another tournament. You say no.
I'd say no. No, I think there's too many good players out there, and he doesn't play enough. You know, he's going to play one more time between now and the Open Championship at Carnoustie. And there's just too many good players out there, I think, now. Yeah.
Was Shinnecock Hills a fair test of golf? And how did Brooks Koepka do what so many other players could not?
I think in the overall, I think the players would say yes. A fair test. Tough. They knew it was going to be tough.
Right.
Fair test. The only thing was yesterday, and the USGA admitted this, is that they put maybe 3 pins in spots that they just shouldn't have put them for the day that it became. That it got just a little crust. The greens got a little crusty and a little too maybe bumpy. And so they made a mistake with the pins basically yesterday. But I think in the overall, and it proved today, they might have gone a little over top today because they watered the greens last night and they didn't want it to happen again. A lot easier today. But overall, I would say that it was a fair test for sure. Yeah.
Darian, do you like to see those guys firing darts at the flag, making birdies, or do you like to see them humbled a little bit?
I like to see them humbled a little bit. I mean, I think that's what makes golf so great is that you have your stars. You know, you have your McIlroys, Spieths of the world. Obviously, Dustin Johnson came out hot, but at the end of the day, they don't win all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes golf a little bit different than other sports, in terms, especially individual sports. I mean, tennis, you're going to have the same people at the end every time. You're going to have your Williams sisters on the women's side of it. On the men's side of it, you're going to have, you're going to have Roger Federer at the end all the time, Djokovic at the end all the time. But with golf, you never know sometimes. And I think that's what makes the sport so great. So to see these guys that are at the top of their game making $200 million through a sport get humbled like that, it makes it a little bit more exciting to watch.
Paul Davis, you played a lot of golf and you hit it a ton. You've also been in pressure-packed situations, Final Four for one in 2005. Would you like to be in a situation where you could be playing with the entire world watching and see how you would do in that situation where so many other players seem to crumble?
I think so. I would just tell people on the first tee to make a little bit wider gap so I don't have to take anybody out. But, you know, as amateurs, when we're golfing with friends or family, we're not under the adrenaline, the pressure, and you're feeling all this emotion, and you have to hit a perfect drive or even a 5-foot putt to, close out a hole. So it would be a different feel than what we're normally used to doing. I think it's a great test to have the U.S. Open as the hardest test in golf, as long as you're not penalized for great shots, which I think we had a little of that this weekend.
Bob, let's take a look at all of the players who have won more than one U.S. Open championship. And Brooks Koepka, the first one to win back-to-back since Curtis Strange in 88 and 89. And you have to go all the way back to Ben Hogan before that. in 50 and 51. From a historical perspective, can you put this week maybe in a way that people can understand it from what Dustin Johnson did early, Tommy Fleetwood today, and then Koepka's the one who's got the back-to-back trophies.
Right, and that's why it is so exciting, because there are so many good players. I think there's so many more now than there were in Jack's day or Arnie's day. There were about a dozen guys that were going to win titles, and now there's 70 guys that can go out there and win it at any time. And to have Brooke do it, and by the way, the guy had wrist surgery.
Yes.
In the wintertime, and just started playing at the Masters.
It didn't stop him from taking some wicked swings out of the rough.
A couple of times, and you're wondering if is that going to affect him a little bit. And to have him go back to back like that, and him not playing so much this year is really amazing, because you just don't see it happen very often.
Tommy Fleetwood had a very makeable putt for a 62 today, which would have been would have tied the loss round in any major.
In any major.
Instead, he's one of just a handful of players. You see the list there, starting with Johnny Miller at Oakmont on Sunday afternoon. But the guys who can shoot 63 in the U.S. Open, that is another pretty special club.
Very special club, and I was rooting for him. I thought, gosh, he's played so well, and he's got this 10-footer uphill, and he's going to make it. I thought 62 would be just a great thing to have.
Well, you can go back since Tiger Woods in 2008 and look at the guys, and nobody's on that list twice since then except Koepka. We'll be right back with more Talking Detroit Tigers up next on Press Pass.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
Introducing A&W's new chicken sandwiches. 2 large, juicy hand-breaded chicken tenders stacked with toppings to create the ultimate two-handwich. Choose from classic or buffalo slaw, made with Frank's Red Hot Buffalo sauce. Now at your local A&W.
Tim Allen's back and all new Last Man Standing, Fridays this fall on Fox.
PFCU is more than a financial institution. We are a proud community partner. Our support includes awarding scholarships in the skilled trades, providing education on financial literacy, supporting important causes, and sponsoring local events in the neighborhoods we serve.
Looking to buy a truck? You're in luck at MonsterMotors.com. Monster selection, warranties, financing, always at least 100 trucks on the ground. All makes and models, including custom lift trucks. Michigan's #1 pre-owned truck dealer, MonsterMotors.com.
I've lost 2 homes in my lifetime. Both times, my independent agent and auto owners took care of me like someone takes care of family.
Holton Dimedale Insurance Agency, your hometown team. Come see us today.
It's finally that time when we can enjoy the outdoors. Van Atta's Greenhouse and Flower Shop offers a variety of beautiful flowers and shrubs to complement your home and landscape. Visit Van Atta's Greenhouse and Flower Shop today, open 7 days a week.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Retirement Protection Services and my financial advisor, Jack Vogler. Earn interest based on stock market performance with zero exposure to market downturns. Give Jack a call at 339-4777. That's 339-4777. I'm glad I did. Big week for the Tigers. They actually had a day off on Monday, and then on Tuesday, seems like a pretty innocent swing and miss. What happened to Miguel Cabrera there. He's in a lot of pain. He knows something's wrong, and didn't know exactly how wrong, but he is out for the season. Ruptured left biceps tendon. That makes a big difference in this Tigers lineup. Darian Harris, I guess it's part of the unpredictability of sports that outstanding players can disappear just like that. What does it mean that that was Cabrera's last swing for 2018, and who knows beyond?
Yeah, I think it means that we're seeing the beginning of the end of his career. Obviously, you know, Miggy's on the back half of his career. He's obviously, you know, done a lot of great things for the Tigers, but he's getting paid a lot of money, and his production's been down in the last few years. But he was starting off this season having a big year. So for him, I think he's probably looking at the beginning of the end, unless he can have a miraculous, a miraculous recovery. But in terms of the team, obviously it's going to be next man up mentality. That's always going to be the mentality when you lose a player of that caliber. And like I said, he was starting off the year pretty strong. But like you said, we see it all the time in sports. There's always, in every sport, in every league, some big-time player is going to go down. The Celtics lost 2 this year. Yeah. And still had a great year. You think back to Derrick Rose going down from non-contact injuries when you think of non-contact injuries. So it happens. With Andrew Luck's just starting to throw now in terms of football and injuries that happen there. So it happens in every sport. It happens every single year. This won't be the last big injury, I think, for this entire MLB career. Somebody else will go down. That's just sports at the end of the day. So for the Tigers, has to be next man up so they can keep this little train they got that's going pretty good rolling. Mike
Ilitch loved Miguel Cabrera and thought he was like another son. And he paid him accordingly. Yep. Paul Davis, when you look at Miggy's salaries here, and after this season, that's assuming he comes back in 2019, he's still going to average more than $31 million, or almost $31 million for the last 5 seasons. It's 154, excuse me. When you look at where Cabrera is now in his career, will the Tigers rue the day they signed him to this contract, or do you expect him to come back maybe next year as a designated hitter and be a terrific player?
No, I do agree with Darian. I think they're going to regret the contract, but with baseball guys, if the Tigers didn't pick him up, somebody else would have, and maybe you get a couple good years in the middle of their 30s out of them, but approaching 40, I don't think that's what teams pay for. It's tough with baseball because there's so much sitting, standing around, and then you need a quick burst of speed, or as you could see, a quick swing of the bat, and older muscles just don't respond the way they do when you're in your younger 20s. So it's very tough to come back, especially when you hit 34, 35, and you tear something. Yeah. That's just going to linger even for the next 20, 30 years, let alone trying to get back in a great shape. So I really think that they were hoping they'd get a few years of great baseball in his 30s, but they didn't expect him to be 39 and 40 playing like he did in his 20s.
Bob, that's another reason to love golf. When you're 35 years old, he'll be 36 next spring. Doesn't mean you're washed up.
That's in the prime for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
They just start to get pretty good when they're in their mid-30s. So it's too bad that it happened. I'm excited to see these kids play, though. Yeah. I never played baseball, but I love watching it.
Playing with a lot of enthusiasm.
The manager's got them, going well. The pitching seems to be pretty good, but it's fun watching. And now it's just what they're going to do with Martinez. Are they going to keep letting him play, or are they going to put somebody else in? But they're fun to watch.
They won the last 5 games. Here they are, 1 game under 500. I don't think too many people saw that coming.
No.
Lynn Henning said they'd win 55 games. They're only 19 away from that right now. So the Tigers are in a better position than anyone thought, and nobody's saying they're going to be in the World Series. Maybe they're not going to be in the playoffs, but right now you're getting your money's worth. We'll be back talking about the NBA draft up next.
Golf at the highest point in Ingham County. Eagle View Golf Club in Mason, just 2 miles from the Kip Road exit off 127. This family-owned and operated 18-hole golf course has beautiful scenic rolling hills. Visit our website at eagleviewgolfclub.com.
Father's Day is right around the corner, and Young Brothers and Daily has the perfect gifts for that special guy in your life. Show Dad how much you love his grilling skills. Young Brothers and Daily on Michigan Avenue in Lansing has an amazing selection of grills and outdoor pizza ovens. Get what Dad really wants.
If your family is screaming for the best ice cream, take a road trip around the corner to your local quality dairy. With 16 flavors like Death by Chocolate, Berry Strawberry, and Caramel Cashew, there's a favorite for everyone in your family. And with 30 QD locations in the greater Lansing area, you don't need to travel far for your summer fun. So whether it's a cup or a cone, a scoop or a pint, scream for Lansing's best ice cream, only at QD.
Get it while it's hot. An all-new MasterChef, Wednesday on Fox.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango, and Caribbean Sea Burst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Feelin' a Draft segment, talking about the NBA draft this Thursday night. Some top prospects, and number one on just about every list, Arizona center DeAndre Ayton. And he might be staying very close to home, playing for the Phoenix Suns. Do just about everything you would want a dominant big man to be. Then there's Duke's Marvin Bagley III. Very tough near the basket and acrobatic, can do some things away from it as well. And Trae Young, he's got the range that you see from Steph Curry. Never met a shot he didn't like. And he's going to score a ton of points in the National Basketball Association. Paul Davis, big man bias aside, you have a choice, and you can build a team. I guess the goal now is always to build a team that can get past the Golden State Warriors, but you have a traditional big man. You've got a guy who is more contemporary basketball, inside and can shoot the three, or somebody who can stretch the defense and the way the game has changed, shooting those threes. Where do you go? How do you build a team?
So I think 15 years ago I would have taken a true big man like Ayton. 8 to 10, I probably would have taken Trae Young, knockdown shooting guard, but this day and age, I'd want to build a team around Bagley. I think he has the best ability to become a Joel Embiid type player. Okay. And we've seen how something like that could change a team and a city. Now, if you have a very good big man, if you have a very good guard, I would take Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
I've played against him, and the amount that he has progressed in just a couple years is unbelievable. I think he's out of the top 5, he's the most NBA-ready guy because Real Madrid is like the Warriors of Europe. You know, everybody's gunning for him. He plays in big games every other week. So
how old was he when you played against him?
He had to be 15, but he was doing some things that, you know, were catching a lot of people's eyes. But he made some unbelievable strides just in the last couple of years. He was virtually MVP of every game, every league over there, so he's ready to go.
Darian, you follow the NBA as closely as anybody in the Michigan media. Do you agree that a traditional big man is not the way to go? It looks like that's the way the Suns are going to go.
Yeah, I definitely agree that it wouldn't be the way to go. I think that just based on what the Phoenix Suns have right now, having Devin Booker, having Josh Jackson there, I think that that's probably why they're thinking about getting a guy like DeAndre Ayton to add to a team that quintessentially already has quintessential guards in there. I mean, Devin Booker, what he did last year, the 70-point game. I mean, he's a perennial all-star. If they could find a way to win some games, I mean, I think that you got to have a winning team to be an all-star in this league. So if they can find a way to win games, he's an all-star through and through. So I think that's probably why they're looking at Ayton as the #1 pick.
All right, let's take a look at the most recent mock draft we could find. And new one pops up every day. We've seen Miles Bridges going anywhere from 8 to 15. This one has him at 14. Taking a look at these names, who would you like to see on your beloved Los Angeles Lakers? And you can't say LeBron James, Paul George, or Kawhi Leonard.
Well, big free agents aside, we lost our top, we lost our lottery pick. Based on, I believe it's based on the Steve Nash trade. So that obviously didn't work out in our favor, but we're looking at picking, I believe at 24, 26, somewhere around that range. There's a little rumor going out there that we promised Kevin Huter from Maryland that we draft him. It wouldn't be a bad choice, I don't think, but a guy that, people that follow Michigan high school basketball know, Yante Maton that played at Georgia, SEC Player of the Year. He's a guy that we had in for a workout this past week, a guy obviously that put up big numbers going against Michigan State, as a matter of fact, and a guy that I believe Tom Izzo has even said that he regrets not recruiting to come to Michigan State. So he's a great player. Had him in for a workout. He's a guy that understands how to play big time ball, and I definitely love to see in a Lakers uniform.
Bob Fossum, the Warriors just had their 3rd parade in 4 years. And taking a look at the way this team was built and the ages of the players, let's take a look at the Hamptons 5. And how long can these guys go? Are we going to be seeing a few more celebrations?
I think so. They're going to keep Durant. They've already said we'll pay him whatever he wants. Right. And whatever, that's going to be couple years at least. You still got Draymond a couple years, Clay a couple years, but, and at Steph's, I don't think Steph's going anywhere. So you've got these 4 guys, let's just say for another 2 or 3. It's at least 1 and probably 2. Somebody's going to come out and maybe get him again. But
well, the Warriors have put this together in a way where they have done all 3 things. They've taken advantage of high draft positions with 3 of the players. They have gotten a steal in the 2nd round with Draymond Green, and then they were in position to get the free agent to put them over the top, and Paul, to almost make it unfair.
Yeah, it was just kind of the perfect storm against the rest of the NBA. I call it the Seinfeld situation. It couldn't happen any other time, any other place, any other network. The time was then for Seinfeld. The time is now for the Warriors. Although I do not think they're going to win next year.
No, you said that.
I think the whole NBA is going to be gunning for them more than any time before.
I think they might win until Darian Harris is general manager of the Lakers. We'll be right back with more Press Pass.
At Graf's, we're kicking off summer right, and we're cooking up some hot car deals, too.
Order for another hot car deal, Dad.
You got it.
Get into a 2018 Equinox for only $136 per month.
That's a hot one. And Graf will give you $2,000 more than the appraised value of your trade.
Or Graf will make up to 6 payments for you with Graf Lease Pull Ahead.
Looks like we need another hot deal.
Drive off a Silverado double cab for just $140 a month.
Hey, I want to try this. Hot deals coming up.
Oops. Chris, it's all in the wrist.
So, I got my start in officiating when a friend told me I should try it. At first, I just did basketball, and I got hooked. Before long, I added baseball, softball, football, and volleyball. I really enjoy giving back to the game, working with kids, and working with my local association to recruit and train new officials. I would like to say to anybody that officiating is a great way to help kids and stay connected to the game. We always need new officials. There's help wanted, just listen.
The Knapp Center is a historical hub for future business growth in beautiful downtown Lansing.
The Ide Company did the best they could to preserve the integrity of the history of this building while incorporating a modern, open workspace.
They have been prompt, they have been efficient, and they really are a friendly, great group of people that we don't have any concerns about calling them for any of our needs.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the Ide Company family.
Watch World Cup Soccer now through July 15.
Spring is here, and with less than a 2-month supply of listings available, now's the best time to sell your home.
Call the selling team with Keller Williams Realty. We work harder for you. We are here when you need us. We get your home sold. The selling team, beyond real estate, real family.
My heart is home with you.
Discover the art of more at Art Van Furniture. More style, more selection, more saving. Shop an endless selection of more for every room in your home. Today, enjoy amazing savings and an extra 15% off the sale price, plus no interest for 12 months on all furniture, outdoor furniture, and mattresses. Discover the art of more in every Art Van Furniture and at thenewartvan.com.
PFCU is more than a financial institution. We are a proud community partner. Our support includes awarding scholarships in the skilled trades, providing education on financial literacy, supporting important causes, and sponsoring local events in the neighborhoods we serve.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet, a trusted friend with 104 years in the automobile business. Stop and see Matt, Mark, and Greg on West Grand River in Okemos. They'll take great care of you, as they have on all 6 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf. You see Michigan State in action this year. Jaren Jackson. How many guys that size with that reach can take the ball from the perimeter, make a move to the hole, follow up, do an awful lot of things, a lot of damage and block shots. There you see Miles Bridges, too, is coming in, and all the things that he's capable of doing with the dunks. And who can forget his last-second shot to beat the Purdue Boilermakers in the game that gave Michigan State the Big Ten championship. Paul Davis, so what do Jaren Jackson Jr. and Miles Bridges need to do to be stars, or at least longtime starters at the next level?
So I think Jaren, he definitely needs to add a little bit more size, get him in the weight room for a few years, and he'll be perfect weight to battle some of these guys. I also think he needs a little bit more consistency on his elbow jumper and his three-point shot, especially how the NBA is changing. It's a very mobile big man. He really needs to add that consistency. He's got the ability to attack off the dribble. Instead of fading away like you saw and not getting to the free throw line this season, he needs to be, just like you saw in the clip, spin and take it to the rim for a dunk, get to the free throw line. Now I think Miles is pretty similar to Jaren. I think he needs to add even more consistency to his three and his pull-up jumper, and also he can attack with the best of them, kind of a Carmelo Anthony type player.
Right.
Quick pull-up or take it to the rim and get to the free throw line. And I think they're both mentally ready for the NBA. Jaren and Miles are very hard workers, and they're going to add a very big upside to any team that picks
Young
them.
players, a combined 3 years of college basketball. Darian, I know pro football and pro basketball, very different sports, but based on all the experience that you've had in football, what would you tell these two guys about what their next 12 months are going to be like?
Well, the next 12 months are going to be a lot different, obviously, than what they had in college. You're going to realize that this is a job. This is how people put food on the table for their families, and it's a very unpredictable job. It's probably the most unpredictable job in the entire world is professional sports. So coming up in the next couple months when the draft happens, you're going to realize that you can't control what's going to happen. You can't control anything. Your agent can't control anything. Coach Izzo can't control anything. And I think that's where the similarities are in all professional sports. I mean, Baker Mayfield didn't know he was going one. He could have gone one, or he could have dropped like Josh Rosen did all the way down into the teens. He had no idea. His agent had no idea. Only the Cleveland Browns had an idea. So only the Phoenix Suns know what they're going to do with that #1 pick, and so on and so forth. So it's just to control what you can control, be ready to go. These are going to be two guys that are going to be lottery picks. They're getting ready to make a ton of money, and they should be proud. Their family should be proud, and just be able to walk in and understand that you're going to be back on the bottom of the totem pole and get ready to work.
Paul, you can speak to this. How big of an adjustment is it for guys who have not had that kind of money, that kind of free time, and suddenly they're living the NBA life? How many guys get victimized by that?
Well, I mean, you've seen some of the horror stories in the past. The NBA does do a great job. Once you're drafted, a few weeks after that, they have a rookie combine where it's classes all day for about 3 or 4 days from how to handle with family and money to women and to travel, all these anything you can think of on opposite ends of the spectrum. So they prep these rookies for it, but it is tough. In college, you have everybody taking care of you on anything you need. In the pro sports, it's all on you. What you eat, when you get in, how you take care of your body, where you live, all these are on you. So it's very different going from an 18-year-old college kid to a 19-year-old professional athlete.
Bob, I always used to say about Darian Harris that he was 22 going on 40 in terms of the maturity, and I think that with Jaren Jackson Jr., he's a big kid in some ways, but he and Miles are probably better suited to take on this kind of a challenge, the off-the-court part of it, than most guys. I want to take a look at some of the first-round draft choices. There you see their statistics, too, and what they have done. But if you think about the players who have gone in the draft in the Izzo era, how would you compare Jaren Jackson and Miles Bridges to, say, Mateen Cleaves and Morris Peterson in 2000, or Zach Randolph and Jason Richardson a year later?
Yeah, you kind of got the feeling that after we won the title in 2000, that Mateen was going to be one of those guys and be the point guard, and he was going to be the director. He was going to do, and work out pretty well. And Mo Pete turned out to actually be a long career, 17, 18 year, which was beautiful. But these two guys, even though they're young, pretty mature, and I think they'll have an effect on their teams that they go to. They're going to have good careers. Yeah.
There aren't too many teams in college basketball. Yeah, Duke's done it, Kentucky's done it, but how many programs have had two guys in the lottery in the same year? Not many. We'll be back in just a minute, and we're going to have the big picture. Talking college football up next on Press Pass.
Your first step towards a great education starts at Allied Academics.
Imagine a new career making over $30,000 per year.
As a medical assistant, phlebotomist, or EKG technician, get hands-on training from experienced instructors.
And job placement help.
Find out more at alliedacademics.org.
It's finally that time when we can enjoy the outdoors. Van Atta's Greenhouse and Flower Shop offers a variety of beautiful flowers and shrubs to complement your home and landscape. Visit Van Atta's Greenhouse and Flower Shop today, open 7 days a week.
If your family is screaming for the best ice cream, take a road trip around the corner to your local quality dairy. With 16 flavors like Death by Chocolate, Berry Strawberry, and Caramel Cashew, there's a favorite for everyone in your family. And with 30 QD locations in the greater Lansing area, you don't need to travel far for your summer fun. So whether it's a cup or a cone, a scoop or a pint, scream for Lansing's best ice cream, only at QD.
New Lunch with Judge Judy, weekdays at noon on Fox 47.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
Your paycheck can be gone before you know it. We're here to help save your hard-earned wages. Discovering deals that are too good to be true. Shining a light on scams meant to rip you off. Watch Don't Waste Your Money with John Matarese tomorrow on Fox 47 News at 10.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to northern Michigan and Chicago. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Guy makes a mistake. Where do you want him to be? You want him to be in the street? or do you want them to be here graduating? You know, when I was over there at the Nagurski, Muhsin Muhammad, who played 15 years for the Carolina Panthers, played for me at Michigan State. Everybody in the school, every newspaper guy, everybody was killing the guy because he got in trouble and said there's no way he should be on our team. I didn't kick him off the team. I suspended him. I made him do stuff. He graduated from Michigan State. He played 15 years in the league. All right, he's a president of a company now. And he has 7 children, and his oldest daughter goes to Princeton. So who was right?
Nick Saban was right, apparently. Darian Harris, we have seen second chances save careers, if not lives. We've also seen them boomerang in a very big way. Where does a coach draw the line, and how does he know to whom to grant a second chance?
I think the coaches know deep down and inside what's really in a person's heart that they recruit, whether or not they're going to take advantage of the second chance that they may give them. And I think that what we've seen is the bad outweighs the good in terms of giving second chances to players that may mess up. At the end of the day, you're recruiting a 17-year-old and 18-year-old kid to come to a university and essentially be away from home. In a lot of these cases, a lot of these guys, a lot of these players wouldn't have the opportunity to even go to college if it wasn't for the sport they play, if it wasn't for getting recruited. And you're pulling a lot of these players out of environments of which they saw poverty, drugs, violence, family members maybe getting killed, abuse in the home. You never know. I mean, there's a lot of these players that come from those different types of situations. So I think that what Coach Saban was exactly right. You should rather than be under the tutelage and under the umbrella of college, getting better, learning, becoming a better person. Because I've seen a lot of guys that I played with that didn't even need to, get a second chance. They just grew and they matured over their 4 years. I think everybody does, obviously. I'm not the same that I was coming in at 18 and I was leaving at 22, 23. But a lot of these guys go leaps and bounds, become the first in their family to graduate, and go on to have careers like Muhsin Muhammad did. So I think that Coach Saban was obviously right in a situation where, would you rather than be back in the street, because that's where you're going to put them if you get kicked out, they're going to go right back to the street, or would you rather than be under the umbrella of a lot of great, men, father figures, and people in their lives?
Bob, there are some guys who make the most of a second chance, some who never need a second chance, and some who wouldn't do it if you gave them 7 chances. How do you know, as a coach, how do you know how far to extend that?
It's a tough call, but like I think what Darian said, when you recruit the kid, or you're recruiting kids, you kind of have an idea of what they're all about.
Yeah.
And so you as the coach, you're the man in charge. You should know how many times am I going to help this kid?
Yeah.
And figure it, so.
Does it depend how good the player is?
I think sometimes it does.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to say that, but it might be. And sometimes, you hate to say it, but if it's a kid who might not help your team, sometimes they go first.
He runs a 4.740 instead of a 4.5, so he doesn't get a second chance.
Might not get a second chance, but the coaches should know, and you leave it up to them.
Paul, I want to talk a little bit about Kirk Cousins. And he's been the highest paid player in pro football. And now, why would he take time away from all of his preparations with his new team, the Minnesota Vikings, to be trolling about his success against the Michigan Wolverines?
Lesson 1 or tip 1, there's always time to troll the Michigan Wolverines, no matter what. I think Donald Trump may have done it also once or twice. No, I mean, who knows? Maybe he's responding to something else he saw, but I feel if you sweep your rival during your whole career and you're the underdog possibly in every game, you could do it once a month. I would. So keep going, Kurt. Keep it moving. And if you need help, send me your Twitter handle, and I'll create a Twitter, and I'll be right there with you. You
know what Kirk Cousins and Darian Harris have in common?
Both hate Michigan.
Yeah, they both have 4 victories over the Wolverines.
That is also true.
Stay at Michigan State, right? Bob Fossum, when you look at Big Ten football odds heading into the season, it's a little different betting in Vegas than it is betting golf with DraftKings. But if Ohio State is a 3-2 favorite, Wisconsin 4-1 choice to be the Big Ten champion, Penn State 9-2, and Michigan 6-1 Looks like Michigan State might be a reasonable bet at 10-1 given that schedule.
Well, I would take them in a heartbeat because at 10-1 you get Ohio State and Michigan at home.
Yeah.
And
don't have to play Wisconsin.
Don't have to play Wisconsin, and okay, you got to go to Penn State, but I like the schedule. It looks pretty good, and we're going to be pretty good, I think.
I think Mark D'Antonio likes that schedule too. And I think a lot of the Michigan State players say, okay, now, all right, make us fifth choice. That's fine. Been there before. Been there, done that. We'll be right back with our Take It to the Bank segment. Dart Bank up next.
My heart is home with you.
Discover the art of more at Art Van Furniture. More style, more selection, more saving. Shop an endless selection of more for every room in your home. Today, enjoy amazing savings and an extra 15% off the sale price, plus no interest for 12 months on all furniture, outdoor furniture, and mattresses. Discover the art of more in every Art Van Furniture and at thenewartvan.com.
Father's Day is right around the corner, and Young Brothers and Daily has the perfect gifts for that special guy in your life. Show Dad how much you love his grilling skills. Young Brothers and Daily on Michigan Avenue in Lansing has an amazing selection of grills and outdoor pizza ovens. Get what Dad really wants.
Golf at the highest point in Ingham County. Eagle View Golf Club in Mason, just 2 miles from the Kip Road exit off 127. This family-owned and operated 18-hole golf course has beautiful scenic rolling hills. Visit our website at eagleviewgolfclub.com.
You're watching Fox 47's Family of Stations.
At Graf's, we're kicking off summer right, and we're cooking up some hot car deals, too.
Order for another hot car deal, Dad.
You got it.
Get into a 2018 Equinox for only $136 per month.
That's a hot one. And Graf will give you $2,000 more than the appraised value of your trade.
Or Graf will make up to 6 payments for you with Graf Lease Pull Ahead.
Looks like we need another hot deal.
Drive off a Silverado double cab for just $140 a month.
Hey, I want to try this. Hot deals coming up.
Oops, Chris, it's all in the wrist.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Touchdown, Falcons.
Larry? Sorry, Larry's on the road again, but you can always find him at larrysrvservice.com. Take virtual tours, apply for financing, even schedule mobile service online. Let Larry find a great deal for you at Larry's RV in Jackson.
Larry, are you out there?
Your kitchen's a war zone.
Can Gordon Ramsay save this restaurant in just 24 hours?
Love, joy, commitment, it's all here.
Gordon Ramsay's 24 Hours to Hell and Back, all new Wednesday on Fox.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Take It to the Bank segment. Brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most. We have the World Cup in Russia. Oh, what a horrific injury. Here, Luis Suarez, let's slow it down and see this. Does this lead to decapitation? We don't know where this guy's ever going to be able to walk again. He might have even turned his ankle. Oh, and look at this dive, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about completing the catch, or the dive in this case.
Watch out for the bite, too, from Luis.
Darian, tell me you don't enjoy watching that.
No. That kind of takes away from it sometimes. But it's part of the game. It's what comes with soccer, and it works sometimes. It gets some penalties, and we've seen, especially to start off this World Cup, that penalties have been very crucial in the outcomes of a lot of these games.
All right, Team 247, we are less than 11 weeks from the start of college football, but let's talk about some other sports in the meantime. Paul Davis, here we are, 4 nights away from the NBA draft. What can we take to the bank for the players between now and Thursday night?
I would say what we can take to the bank is don't believe anything you hear until somebody's name is called. It's up until literally the last second. These teams are scrambling after pick in case they had a plan going into it. They're going to plan B, D, C, anything you can think of. So it's a tough situation for teams to be in. I think after the 10th pick, because then you're really trying to piece together in 5 minutes who's going to help your team that year. It's going to be interesting to see how teams that are in the running for LeBron James, some of these big-time free agents, how they draft, and also after the draft, if that's going to change some of these free agent decisions.
Yeah.
Maybe they were thinking one team, but they have a great draft pick. Maybe that changes their mind. We'll see.
For the Pistons, I keep hearing Devontae Graham from Kansas, but the guy I would love to see him get, and they might have to move up just a little bit to do it from the 40s, is Jalen Brunson. I think that he's going to be a terrific point guard, probably underrated a little bit right now. Darian, you are our World Cup expert. What can you guarantee for USA Soccer between now and the 2026 World Cup? You got one in between it in 22, but what can you guarantee 8 years from now when the World Cup comes back to North America?
Well, obviously, with it coming to North America, you want to be in it. So you got to qualify to be in it. So with that being said, I think that we can take it to the bank that they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that they don't have a year like this where they're not in it. And so my take it to the bank would be that they make 2 more coaching changes before 2026. Obviously, they're sitting right now with the interim coach and Dave Saracen, who's stepped in right now for Jurgen Klinsmann, who kind of got the boot after a little bit of lackluster performances. And I think they'll obviously hire a full-time guy. I'm not sure if it'll be Sargent, seeing as how they didn't qualify this year. Yeah. Then I think they'll make another change because I'm not sure they'll make it in 2022 either. But
really,
2026, you got to be in it. I mean, you're the host country.
8 years from now, they should be able to beat Trinidad and Tobago.
You would
right?
think so. You would hope so. So you're the host country. You got to be in it. So take it to the bank. Two coaching changes.
Bob Fossum, what can you guarantee about the Grand Slam event number 3? The British Open next month at Carnoustie.
Open Championship, Carnoustie. I'll guarantee weather because Carnoustie sits right there on the North Sea.
Yeah.
And the wind's going to blow.
Yeah.
And it'll be July, but you still might get some rain. So weather will be a factor. I'd have to look at guys that are kind of on that low ball flight. And those will be guys that might want to win it.
Guys were complaining about the wind at Shinnecock Hills. Where they get the Carnoustie.
Oh boy, it's going to be interesting. Yeah.
They'll be wearing sweaters too. All right, we will be back with our final segment, our Cool and Smooth segment, and all of our weekly awards, brought to you by Culver's, our Player of the Week, Play of the Week, Team of the Week, Game of the Week, all that and more coming up here on Press Pass.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Working with the IDE company, 1, is very easy to do. 2, they're very responsive to our needs. And 3, as we've grown as a company, they've listened to those needs and they've helped us plan out our future in terms of growth that needs to be done at this location.
It's just comforting to know I'm working with the IDE company, knowing that they can accommodate our growth. In that way, they're an excellent partner.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the IDE Company family.
Download the Fox 47 News app and stay in touch everywhere you go.
Got a car to sell? The Team 1 Buying Center will buy it. All makes, all models, no hassle. Come in with your title, walk out with cash. The Team 1 Buying Center. We pay more. We pay now. We pay cash. The easiest and most profitable way to sell your car. And don't worry, we'll even give you a ride home. Team 1!
I've lost 2 homes in my lifetime. Both times, my independent agent and auto owners took care of me like someone takes care of family.
Holt & Dimedale Insurance Agency, your hometown team. Come see us today.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Cool and Smooth segment. Brought to you by the 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. Phil Mickelson with a putt on Saturday. He's got a little bit extra juice on that one. He didn't like where it's going. Hustle, Phil. Get it. Miniature golf. Hit it again. Almost made that one without looking.
It's good running.
Doesn't matter. That's a 2-stroke penalty. That turns his 8 on that hole into a 10. Nice job, Phil. Hard to believe that he was someone's pick to win this event.
Yeah, who was that?
Who was that? Yeah. All right, let's talk about our weekly awards and Bob Fossum. How about our play of the week?
Well, I'm going to have to go with a couple. Brooks Koepka just wins the, today.
Yeah.
And on that back 9, he already knew Fleetwood was done at +2.
Yeah.
And he starts the back 9 at +1.
Okay.
And he makes an
where he ended up.
Right. He makes an unbelievable bogey at 11, a great par at 12, and a great par at 14, and then stuffs it at 16. So he played. There's a bunch of little, big shots that he made on the back 9 there. Yeah.
And he said afterwards with Curtis Strange that everyone looks at the birdies. They show the birdies. But it's those par saves, and he had a bogey save when he thought he might get a 7.
It was
and
great,
he said that might have been the key to the whole thing. Paul Davis, what about our game of the week?
So the game of the week, since some of the major sports are over, I'm going to go to Steve Smith's golf outing, which is coming up on Monday. It's the 20th year, and it supports the West Michigan Spartans. And I'm going to be putting together a golf outing in Oakland County. I think I have my foursome right here for next year, so if I can count everybody in.
You don't plan to win, is what you're saying, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're going in.
Well, you might.
Well, yeah, we can pick out the pieces, but Steve Smith's golf outing, obviously a great ambassador for Michigan State, and it's the 20th year coming up on the 25th.
Bob, you missed qualifying for the U.S. Open by 1 stroke.
I did a long time ago.
And you were too, right, Jack?
Oh yeah.
Just 2.
Yeah, I disqualified.
Good putt at the end.
Yeah, impersonating a golfer. Darian, what about our team of the week?
Team of the week, there was a couple different ways I could have gone with the World Cup. Mexico with their upsetting win 1-0 over defending champion Germany was a big win. Obviously, I could have gone with my favorite player, Ronaldo, and Portugal tying Spain, but I'm going to go with Iceland.
Yeah.
I got to go with Iceland.
They get a draw. They're your team of the week.
Yeah,
right?
I have to. I mean, you tie up Argentina, the goalkeeper with an incredible save on Messi's PK.
Yeah.
I think it was like 10 or 15% of the entire Iceland population was at the game or something ridiculous like that. I mean, because Iceland's such a small country, but I think they're going to be the Cinderella story of the tournament that everybody's going to be pulling for, and right now they're sitting kind of pretty with a with a draw against Argentina. So yeah, imagine that a tie ball game gets you team of the week.
What is the percentage chance for Messi to make that shot?
I mean, it's got to be like 99.9%. I mean, you saw Ronaldo had one too, and I mean, it's like he could do it with his eyes closed. I mean, you would think the same for Messi, but to me, that's what kind of separates Ronaldo from Messi. I've always thought he was the better player, and as actually Kelly Rowe from Fox tweeted out, for all the Ronaldo fans out there, watching Messi get that penalty kick block was great. It's not quite LeBron versus Jordan, because obviously Jordan's done what he does, but it's that kind of rivalry when you think about Ronaldo versus Messi.
Great stuff. We'll be watching that throughout the summer in Russia. Our player of the week, where else can you go but Brooks, don't call me Neil Koepka. You got a guy 28 years old, and here he is, back-to-back U.S. Open champion, Florida State graduate. And I love the story about him breaking up with his girlfriend because she was going to go play soccer in Europe. And now, there you saw the actress waiting for him coming off the green. So, big year for Brooks Koepka, let's just say that. Congratulations to him, and I want to thank all of the panel for being here on Father's Day. Darian Harris, Paul Davis, Bob Fossum. We'll be back next Sunday with Team 248. Have a great week, everyone.
If your family is screaming for the best ice cream, take a road trip around the corner to your local quality dairy. With 16 flavors like Death by Chocolate, Berry Strawberry, and Caramel Cashew, there's a favorite for everyone in your family. And with 30 QD locations in the greater Lansing area, you don't need to travel far for your summer fun. So whether it's a cup or a cone, a scoop or a pint, scream for Lansing's best ice cream, only at QD.
There are no shortcuts in our work. Our clients have only one shot at getting what they deserve in court, and we're there with them every single step of the way.